take the pleasure to invite all for training on generative AI on 27th December 2025, followed by hackathon on 29th December 2025 at SIET Amalapuram. Now, today, you people are going to experience a real-time agents, how to create agents. In today's session, you people are going to experience sessions how to create agents on Google Gemini models, campus inquiry chatbot, insurance query bot, healthcare system explainer, and loan inquiry advisor. So these chatbots you people are going to learn without no coding. The prior knowledge is core Python, okay, and Streamlit. Yeah, I will discuss as a trainer of artificial intelligence and data science. Myself, Dr. N.V. Ganpataraju, will tell you about VCube Software Solutions Training and Placement Institute. In VCube, we will teach industry-based curriculum, and we focus on IT training with real-time and job-oriented curriculum. And all the faculty are expert trainers from real-world industry background. And we will teach hands-on learning with live projects and practical sessions. And we are dedicated to give placement support for all the eligibility students, and we will also support in terms of resume, mock interviews, and job assistance. In VCube, we will teach both online and classroom training, and we are located at Kukatpalli, Hyderabad. So I will discuss about myself as a trainer of artificial intelligence and data science. We also teach generative AI and agentic AI. Myself, Dr. N.V. Ganpataraju, completed PhD in CSC from JNT Kakinada, MTech Computer Science and Technology from Andhra University. Worked as professor and head of the department and dean in Gokaraj Rangaraju for 24 years. Received Project Drone Awardee in AIML from TASK, Infosys, and HYSIA. Teaching data science and generative AI in JNT Hyderabad also. And I have few government assignments: Engineering Staff College of India, Telangana State Police Academy, BHL R&D, and CISF Hyderabad. And I'm also faculty for various edutech companies, Blackbuck Engineers, and Conjura Online. So with this, I will be hand over my session to Mr. Mohan Garu, who is having 25 years of industrial experience in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and generative AI. Sir is a chief mentor and data scientist in Tech Mahindra. He will be taking on the session. Mohan Garu, you are going to handle the session, Andy, please. Hello.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ganpataraju. Am I audible? Hello. Am I audible, Ganpataraju? Hello. Hello. Thank you, Dr. Ganpataraju. Am I audible? Hello. Ganpataraju, can you hear me? Rajgar, am I audible? You can share your screen, start, sir. I hope I'm audible. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay, so very good evening, everyone. Let me share my screen with you all. I hope everybody can see my technical presentation. Is it visible? Please confirm, anybody. You all can see my PPT. Is it visible, Andy? Shall I begin?
Sir, your screen is okay. You can start, sir.
Fine. Okay. Check my audio. Once again, please check my audio. Is it audible, sir? You all can hear me? Is it audible? Okay, fine. So very good evening to all of you, and thanks to the VCube Software Solutions in association with Srinivasa Institute of Engineering Technology for organizing this wonderful initiative on online training program on generative AI. So welcome everybody. The agenda for this program would be on the introducing technical prerequisites of this training program, understanding what is generative AI, the basic introduction, difference between non-generative and the generative models, understanding the basics of LLMs, large language models, then moving on to hands-on experience, building with Gemini, that is the Google LLM, core LLM. We will present an introduction to all the participants on Google AI Studio practices. We will understand how Google brought the Gemini LLM into the light in competition with OpenAI's ChatGPT. We'll learn how to build a chatbot, basic chatbot using Google Gemini using a simple custom knowledge base. Then we will also look into how to interact with text inputs. That is, when a human user provides a text input to the Google Gemini model, how it interacts and interprets the knowledge base, we will demonstrate with Google's Gemini Flash model LLM. Then also in this technical session, participants, you will understand how to be a real-time professional Google developer using the concept of application programming interfaces, API keys. We will present an overview of API key, how to utilize Google AI Studio as a developer platform to create projects in real time, understanding and how to create and use API keys as a data science generative AI developer, and then moving on to the real world industrial domain based projects, how to create real world generative AI bots for industry. In this case, we are trying to cover the insurance industry generative AI bot, healthcare industry, healthcare generative AI bot, and also the finance and banking industry as a loan advisor generative AI bot. So finally, we'll have question and answer. We have a dedicated backbone channel in WhatsApp. You are free to express your thoughts in the group. So welcome everybody to this wonderful training program. So before I begin, technical prerequisites for all participants who are there today in the online training. We expect the participants to have a Gmail account, stable internet, a Google Chrome browser, and you should be able to use this platform named Google AI Studio. This is the link. Please note down. This is the web link to connect to the AI Studio, google.com. And once you logged in, we will take you through the web interface, make you understand the essential components, and you also learn how to create an API key inside the AI Studio. These are the minimum things required both for online training and the hackathon program also. Now, moving on to the core part. I hope most of you are very much aware on the terminology artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. So AI is nowadays becoming very popular on-demand emerging technology. The major objective is to make human-like intelligent thinking among the computer systems. Can machine be made intelligent just like human can? That is the major goal of either AI or machine learning, which uses computer algorithms, and deep learning, more complex algorithms like the neural networks. After the world has witnessed the revolution of AI, machine learning, and deep learning, it is time for all of us to look into a most important phenomenon, that is generative AI. Generative AI is also one member of the AI family, but it is quite more advanced technology or framework where human can simply interact with machine just like with other human. That is why man-to-machine communication was made possible now in the era of generative AI actually. While doing machine learning data science might require sound technical knowledge, awareness of computer algorithms, generative AI is a straightforward methodology, minimizing, optimizing the technology usage while maximizing learning and productivity. That's why today industries, especially IT industries, heavily depending on generative AI applications in different business verticals like pharmaceutical industry, banking, the healthcare, insurance, retail, e-commerce industries heavily using generative AI for information. Now, after having the what is understanding of generative AI, let's move on to the breakdown, the evolution of the generative AI process. At the highest level is AI, under which we have the machine learning family. broken down into three types: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforced learning. Again, in supervised, we have discriminative and generative models participants. Then, under generative model, we have a lot of revolutionary changes in the last decades where generative AI became more popular. Thus, the world is now, besides doing the discriminative models, they are now moving to generative models also. To exactly understand the difference between what is a generative model, let me introduce you all to the definition. Generative AI, or shortly Gen AI, is the family member of artificial intelligence, wherein when a human submits any form of data, be it text, image, or any kind of audio or video input, generative AI can understand the human given input and respond to that by giving equivalent responses. For example, if you want to learn Java or Python or C, but you're a beginner, you can still use these AI, generative AI tools and write queries called prompts that the AI engines can understand and generate code based for you. Similarly, if you submit an image as an input to your AI tool, the AI tool recognizes that image as if it is a real world existing image or any user created content, also it recognizes greatly. Same is the case with audio input and video streams. That's why this methodology is named as not just AI because it generates knowledge intelligence from the existing data in the real world. This is termed as generative AI. Now, how could generative AI is different from general machine learning or predictive model? In a predictive model, user gives some input data, applies algorithm and generates predictions. That is what core ML does. Unlike this, in generative model, which is also a logic of the machine learning algorithm, but here the data can be multimodal. Multimodal means user can create, submit images, audio, text, and even combination of this. Still, generative model without much difficulty recognizes all those. But how it does? What is the background logic or the formula behind generative models? How it is intelligent, near intelligent like human, how it is able to discover. That's where non-generative models, also called predictive models, really need lot to get trained. The algorithm works on training data and then predicts the data which is compared with testing. This is what predictive model does. Unlike the predictive model, the generative AI uses a peculiar phenomenon called LLM. LLM stands for large language model. Now, what is this large language model? Let me present a small example to all of you. In 1980 till 2000, the programmer, software engineer, developer in the industry used to write the source code using some programming languages, data types, and follow traditional programming style. But after 2010 onwards, when artificial intelligence gained popularity, neural networks entered into the world. Unlike the traditional developer who has to learn the syntax and coding standards, AI developers no need to learn the core programming. With a minimum effort, they can still develop a robust code. That is how neural networks brought a revolutionary change in the IT industry. Now today, after 2020 onwards, complete things changed. We have generative language models, just like the Chat GPT, Google's Gemini, okay, Perplexity AI, Notion AI, and many more tools have come into our world. These tools are called large language models because they have been already trained in the real world data. Lot amount of data, the corpus training data is taken from web repositories and sources like Wikipedia, Google search, etc. And these models are well trained such that if a human asks any question to these generative language models, they are easily able to understand and respond correctly also. So this is how the world of IT transformed from the last 2 to 3 decades, near 20 to 30 years transformation occurred. Now you all have the opportunity to work, learn and work in this era. Now let's see how a language model really works underlying logic. For example, most of the times we might use our daily language in our day-to-day life. Imagine one day a human is trying to test a AI LLM by providing some input in the form of a statement phrase. Honesty is the best. As you most of you know, that in our daily statements we have learned earlier that the phrase honesty is the best policy we have learned. So the most likely word that will occur in the sequence is policy. How did we all guess whether the next word is policy? Because we're all trained. We're all trained by our teachers in the classrooms that whenever user says honesty is the best, the next word is policy. But what if we were trained in another way? Like instead of writing honesty is the best policy, can we write it as honesty is the best way? Honesty is the best approach? No, we were not trained like that. That's why we are not using. Thus, in generative AI, the model is trained, the generative LLM model is trained with a huge amount of parameters such that whenever user needs to add a context to a phrase, the model automatically detects which word is appropriate. So this is like transferring human intelligence into the machine through transfer learning approaches actually. That's why with great accuracy, the generative language models like human, they are doing great work for us. I hope all of you are able to understand what is meant by a large language model, why you have to understand LLM as a building blocks of generative AI, we are emphasizing. Now let's talk more about LLMs. When already machine learning algorithms are there, why should we use LLM? As I just now said to all of you, ML algorithms can recognize input data, predict the estimations, and try to generate some accuracy or some metrics. While in contradictory, the LLMs are born to generate human-like languages. Just like human uses different languages in their day-to-day life, generative models are trained not only to just understand this program, beyond the program, they can understand human-like languages with text interpretations, image interpretations, audio and video interpretations also. That's why the training process of an LLM is very complex. The amount of training an LLM receives, whether it is ChatGPT or Gemini, it is the training data is in near 10 to 100 petabytes and billions of parameters are taken. That's why they are highly intelligent. That training data is usually called as corpus actually. Corpus refers to huge collection of input training data comprising of several formats. So one must understand whenever you want to do generative AI participants, you must have the essentials of LLMs actually. Now, LLMs have different abilities. You might have used Google search in your daily life so far. So most of the world was ready for Google search, but now things have changed. A lot of human moved from Google search to AI tools like ChatGPT. We are searching in ChatGPT, we are searching in Gemini, most of us. So that new transformative culture came. Not only LLMs can search for user asked questions, LLMs can understand user's speech also, that is conversative language. When asked a question, LLMs can generate the content. You ask an LLM like Gemini or ChatGPT, please show me a Taj Mahal image. It will generate the Taj Mahal image for you also. So content generation is one of the most important capability of all LLMs under the generative AI code. Now to understand mathematically, generative AI, how should understand is if X is an operation comprising of several inputs, namely X1, X2, so on, Xn. This is a mathematical representation of a generative AI model. Here X1 can be some kind of text data, X2 can be image, X3 can be audio file. Like that, irrespective of the collection of data, you can represent X as a vector of different input formats that generative AI can handle. So it can be images, it can be audio file, large corpus of textbooks that you can read with an LLM greatly. That's why generative AI is not only fun-oriented learning, but really very robust opportunity to build real-world industrial applications. Now, let's move on to our platform hands-on quickly. To do generative AI as a beginner, there are many tools, but to start your experience of learning today in the online training and also on the upcoming hackathon, we have identified a suitable platform called the Google's AI Studio Development Platform, wherein as a beginner, you can understand how to work with LLMs like Gemini, build basic text interactions with Gemini, robust industrial LLM models and bots, chatbots, AI text bots, FAQ bots, question answer bots you can build with Gemini using this platform. To connect this platform, you must access the URL aistudio.google.com. Okay, so let me move on to the practical application now. So I'm just sharing my web browser here, participants. Let me re-log in again. The method to log in, I'm just showing here. So participants, I hope you can see my web browser screen clearly. Is it visible for all of you, right? So to connect to the Google AI Studio, the URL you should use is aistudio.google.com. You can note down. You should have a Google Chrome browser. It works well with Google Chrome. Other browsers also should, but we recommend Google Chrome for this. aistudio.google.com. Simply just go ahead and visit this Google AI Studio platform, usually used by basic developers in industry, although it is very suitable for learning, research, and building basic bots. And simply you can get started button. Click on get started button. As I mentioned in the beginning of session, technical requirements are participants should have a Gmail account, that is to sign in. Just like you sign into your Gmail inbox, that is sufficient here. You don't need anything else. Simply sign in with your Gmail username, supply your password here, and complete your sign in. Now I hope everybody could see my Google AI Studio web interface. So it has a lot of richness. Beginners can learn a lot of things. Basically, on the left-hand side, if you notice, participant, there is a home tab, playground. There is a dashboard to see all your work, and you can build real-time applications with it. Also notice on the left-hand side, you have something called Get API Key. Observe everybody where I'm hovering the mouse. Get API Key is available, where you can create the API, real-time API key, nothing but a password like a substance to interact with your LLMs. So to begin with, I would like to make you all understand the chat with models. You have AI apps, you can build it. You can chat with models here also, and you can monitor your API key usage. We'll now go into our first exercise, how to start text interaction with Gemini Flash models. So basic hands-on, I'm going to talk. Here, the Gemini, which is the foundation LLM offered by Google to all of us, it has to have some awareness to all of you. Gemini comes in different varieties. Namely, Gemini models come into Gemini Pro models, Pro Preview, Gemini Flash, and Gemma models also. Each of these models have the capability to understand user-given input, synthesize them, and generate responses. For instance, on my screen, you are seeing try Gemini 3 Flash. Explore Nano Banana, which is also the very new module integrated into Gemini for your information. Now, let us start working with our playground. So just go here and click on the playground. Once you click your playground, notice you are observing the Google AI Studio models, which I'm just saying now. The Gemini 3 Pro preview is available, which is whenever preview means it is a beta version and it requires some commercial inputs to operate. Nano Banana Pro. But for our generative AI training program and hackathon, you are all advised to learn Gemini 3 Flash. Flash models are free. They work very well with text inputs and other basic image processing data, which might be quite sufficient. So click on Playground and then visit the Google AI Studio models. You can pick any of these models, but recommended is Gemini Flash. So I'm just picking the Gemini 3 Flash model. Now you are ready. Google AI Studio indicated that you are ready to chat on. The Gemini 3 Flash preview is available. On the left-hand side, you see the models. Right-hand side, you see some settings available for you, temperature settings, and many more are there here. I will brief one by one when we work the applications actually. Now, remember only Gemini 3 Flash models you need to select. At the bottom, you notice, participants, there is a something given for you called start typing the prompt. This is the area where you can type your questions, input requests called text prompts. Once you type a prompt, the run button gets activated. You can run the prompt, or you can use keyboard shortcut Control Enter. That will run the prompt and give results to all of us. Now, let's do some basic text interaction here with. So I'm just writing a small question here. Imagine a hello. Yeah. ఒక్క నిమిషం. Yeah. Wait a minute. I'm just sharing again.
Share entire screen share చేయాలి సార్.
Application. Okay. ఇక్కడ స్క్రీన్ కంప్లీట్ ఉందండి, మరి నేను మళ్ళీ షేర్ చేస్తానండి. యా, ఎంటైర్ స్క్రీన్ ఐఎమ్ షేరింగ్. ఓకే, నౌ యూ సీ ఇట్. ఎస్, ఈజ్ ఇట్ విజిబుల్ అండి? ప్లీజ్ కన్ఫర్మ్. ఐ హావ్ షేర్డ్ ది ఎంటైర్ స్క్రీన్ నౌ.
yes sir. Okay sir, ఇప్పుడు okay sir.
Yes. Sure. So I hope participants, now you could see my screen clearly. So once again, I'm just beginning for all of you because the screen share was not available, it seems. Once again, I'm coming it. Yeah, to begin with, all of you are expected to visit the AI Studio. Note down this URL, everybody, aistudio.google.com. This is the URL that you have to follow in order to log into the AI Studio. Google AI Studio is a developer platform which is used to build generative AI applications. I hope AI Studio is visible to all of you. Yes. Now click Get Started on the right hand side and just sign in with your Gmail account. I hope you could see my Gmail account clearly. Yes, now I'm signing in. Yes, now I have signed in participants. You could see that. Could you all see Google AI Studio? I hope it is clear. If any request is there, you can ping on the WhatsApp group which are available. Yes. So this is the Google AI Studio platform where users, developers can use this platform to build basic applications. On the left-hand side, we have the home, playground, dashboard. Notice the Get API key I was talking earlier. API key can also be created here. Now, immediately you can go to playground. On the playground, notice you have the various Gemini models available: Gemini Pro Preview, Nano Banana, Gemini 3 Flash. Different models are available under Gemini, where Pro models are the most popular models for analyzing any type of input. Flash models are eligible for analyzing the basic text data and basic images. Nano Banana is a new innovation by Google Gemini, which can handle any type of input at great precision and accuracy. Now, to begin your job, all of you are advised to use Gemini 3 Flash models because for our training program Hackathon, Flash models are very important. So it is sufficient to learn the Flash models. So simply click on Gemini 3 Flash preview. Yeah, please mute your microphone, participants. Please unmute it. It's causing interruption. Mute channel. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Gemini 3 Flash preview models we have to use. Then pick the model and you can start typing the prompt. The prompt which I am just showing here at the bottom, you can see this is the prompt section which we can use. So simply, I'm just trying to type one basic prompt you're going to see here. Teach me a basic lesson. So one day user is planning to type one question to the Gemini Flash. On the right hand side, please notice which model we are using. Gemini 3 Flash preview we are using. Teach me a basic lesson on quadratic equations. So in mathematics, we have this topic, quadratic equations. So a basic student wants to know what is meant by quadratic equation. Type your prompt and notice on the right side, you have the run button. So click run here and notice the response being generated by the model. Which model are we using? As I said, Gemini 3 Flash model we are using. Now you could notice, participants, the output is being generated by our Gemini Flash models. There's a lot of drill down, just like the mathematics teacher explains right from the basics. What is meant by quadratic equation? What is the standard form of the equation ax square plus bx plus c? Everything Gemini Flash model quickly and professionally generated. See? So how did it generate result? Just like human, the model, Flash model, was trained by Google to learn this type of knowledge from the web repositories. That's why when user types a prompt, any prompt related to any area, immediately the Flash model will generate the results accurately. But as a human, we must ensure to check the result, whether user given input and Gemini Flash model generate output, are they relevant, are they appropriate? Because if user asks one question and AI generates other irrelevant answers, we should not accept that. That's why human are always in the loop. Human decision is final. we must validate whether the result generated is correct or not. So we have just done this and it perfectly matches our question. That is one simple demonstration of a text prompt. Now imagine as an engineer, you want to use AI more elaborately. So I'm writing one more prompt here for demonstration. Generate a 100-word explanation of cyber security. So cyber security is one of the emerging technology which most of you might be learning already. Cyber security. And here I'm writing some context you could see suitable for first year engineering students. Notice here students how I'm writing. Imagine as a BTech first year student wants to learn cyber security, which is a very advanced topic. But how does a first year student can learn this? Can LLMs, generative AI help the student? This is one prompt I have entered here. I'm clicking run. And I'm clicking run. Now notice the model is trying to understand user given question thoroughly. It is generating thoughts. What did user ask? Whether user asked about the cyber security, that too keeping in mind about the first year engineering student how to understand. So it is generating some basic introduction of cyber security, sources, that is the websites where student can learn about cyber security, and some suggestions it is giving. If you are comfortable and fine with these results, you can accept. Otherwise, you can write more prompts. That is called chain of prompts. Prompt engineering or chain of prompts. Continuous prompts you can write. Or you can also write, make it more easier to understand. See the next prompt I'm writing, make it more easier to understand for the student. So when I write the next prompt, Gemini Flash model will try to run this prompt and generate more easier, better interpretable results will come from this type of illustration. You could notice here. So previously, Gemini Flash generated some results you are seeing, but if you find it is difficult, technical, too technical, you want it in a simple language. So you just see, when I wrote the prompt, make it more easier to read, simply it could generate some basic human readable, like a first year student, how to understand about cyber security. It is writing a beautiful language. See how it wrote? Cyber security is a digital armor. It is using some very great keywords for a beginner to understand. So that's why large language models, by this time you should have understood how generative models are highly capable. Just give human input in a language and you could see the magical results, how Gen AI is generating such type of results. Here, which model we have used participants? As I said, Gemini 3 Flash preview is being used. You could see that. Why we use a Flash model? Because Flash models are very basic models, non-commercial models. You don't need to invest anything in using these models, unlike the pro models and the nano banana, which are a bit commercial to start using. So this is one simple demonstration on how would you handle the basic text interaction with your generative AI. Now imagine one day you are planning to write an email to your teacher. You are planning to draft an email. So here I could simply ask Gemini to draft an email to the college principal requesting approval to conduct one-day student hackathon. Imagine you are appointed as a coordinator where you are asked to write a letter to the principal requesting to grant permission for organizing one-day hackathon. In that, you can also mention to include date, participants count, required resources, and then also close your email draft with politely. So to do that, I just brought some prompts for you. See here, I'm just using this prompt here. I will be using this prompt in my this thing, Gemini. So I have just written, notice the prompt I have written, participants, draft a formal email to the college principal requesting approval to conduct one-day student hackathon. Additionally, what I'm writing, include date, purpose, participant count, required resources, and polite closing. This is the prompt you are using as a user. You are giving as input prompt to Gemini Flash model. When you run this prompt, notice the results. Just notice the results. Gemini Flash model is thinking, that is, it is analyzing what the user asked it, and immediately it is generating one letter. Just like you people write your email with a subject, to address, designations, salutation, respected principal, and some paragraphs. And what are the things to be covered? Just recall in the prompt what we have asked it. Date should be included, purpose of hackathon, participant count, required resources, and the mail should have a polite closing. All those things are understood by Gemini Flash model, and it is generating some rough draft email it has generated. See the polite closing also. Thank you for your time and consideration. Yours sincerely. So thus, whether it is a basic text, content generation, recall in my PPT what I spoke, the generative AI models can generate content also. So just give your request, it will generate an email or any type of official letters, memos, or anything. Easily generated one simple letter also. So formal email drafting. This demonstration is called using generative AI for formal email drafting. Not only the LLMs are capable of text analysis, text generation, emotion detection also is possible. Just like humans, you normally give reviews and ratings to real world entities like movies, products, what that you buy online. Can generative AI models can also understand the opinion, sentiment of any real world input? Let us test this. Imagine one day, human wants to test by taking some random images, text messages, want to detect whether a text message has a positive sentiment or a negative sentiment or a neutral sentiment. So let us see whether generative AI, Google LLM, is it that intelligent like human to detect sentiments? Let us test it. So for this, I'm using one prompt here, wherein I am requesting my Google Gemini Flash model to understand this prompt. The prompt I'm writing here, you could see participants, classify these messages as positive, negative, or neutral. Output only the labels. So as a user, I'm requesting my LLM model Flash to first understand. The first message I have written is, I love this course. So as a human, when you read this message, I love this course, what type of sentiment it is? Is it positive, neutral, or negative? So because this shows a positivity, probably the first statement will get a positive label. Second one, if you see, this is confusing. I have written a message, this is confusing. Third one, we have written as, it's okay and manageable. Thus, based on the sentence context utilized, LLMs can detect the sentiment, whether it is a positive, negative, or neutral. Let us run this prompt and see whether the Gemini's Flash model can detect the sentiment correctly or not. Yes. Now it is reading the phrases, analyzing. Beautifully it has given. See, what is the first sentence? The first phrase is, I love this course. What is Flash model generated result? Positive. So how it is detecting, just like human does? It has been trained. The LLM has been trained using huge training corpus data to respond like this. Similarly, you see, this is confusing, somewhat denoting a negative tone. Immediately, Flash model detected that second statement gives us a negative sentiment. Third statement, if you see participants, it was written as, it's okay and manageable. So here we have the neutral statement. So it is neither positive nor negative. So our LLMs can take text input, generate results, generate content also, and even detect sentiment and opinion. See how intelligent these models are. So we have demonstrated basic text interaction, content generation, and classification of our given input. Given this experience, our next experience we would like to share are, can we build a simple campus inquiry chatbot? For instance, as a student, when you went to your campus, you might need some help from other human in guiding you about your courses, placements, faculty, labs, infrastructure, etc. Now, can we develop a chatbot, that would take questions from human on behalf of the human? It would understand questions and respond with proper answers to you. Can it be made possible? Yes. So generative AI can handle this requirement greatly. In order to do that, we could start with some kind of basic experience. So let's go to the playground to build your basic interactive chatbot in your Google AI Studio participants. Just go to your playground, and you could notice here certain models are there, chat with models are there. Again, in the chat with models, you please select Flash model. Always you can use the Flash model here. Several inbuilt models are there. In Google AI Studio, the number of models you see would be limited. But if you want to use complete full-scale models, you can visit Google Cloud actually. That is a complete web environment where many models are available. So as a beginner and a minimum developer, it is sufficient if you can work in Google AI Studio. So I might take the, if you take the build here, when I click on build, you could see currently Flash model is there. But then when I go to the playground again, you could see the Gemini models are available here. Live models are also there. Specially designed models to tackle images, video input, audio input are also available. So let's go ahead and start using the Gemini 3 once again. And on the right side, now coming to the right side part, notice here, there is one parameter called temperature. Temperature refers to creativity of the model. Usually, these values typically range between 0 and 1 for basic models. For advanced models, the temperature value also ranges from 0 to 2 or 0 to 3. What does this temperature setting mean? Currently, as of now, the model's temperature, as you could see, is set to 1. As low is the temperature, that is close to 0, the model thinks very basically. But when you increase the temperature, participants, see how I'm increasing the temperature slider. I hope you could see that. If you keep the temperature slider higher and higher, maximum temperature for a Gemini Flash model is 2. The model thinks too creatively. What is meant by creative thinking? Just like we human, when we face each other, we might wish hi, hello. So when human says hi, the other human says hello. So there is an equal greeting. That is called creative thinking. Same way, our LLMs can also think and work creatively by responding based on the temperature settings. Here, in our exercise, campus inquiry chatbot which we are building, let us start with a lower value of the temperature because we don't want our bot to answer too creatively. Just give basic answers to the questions asked. So if a student asks the bot, which courses does the college offer? The bot should only give the courses on. It should not give any other extra or unwanted details. That additional information sharing is called creative thinking. So if you keep the temperature value low, then bot will not think too creatively. But if you keep the temperature value too high, bot will give creative answers. Thus, for demonstration, I am keeping my temperature value somewhere between 0.2 to 0.3. Assume 0.25. That means it will think very, very normally only, not too creative. Once the temperature value is set, you can now start entering the system prompt. So here I am entering my system prompt. Notice what is meant by system prompt is like a basic instruction human gives to the LLM. That input I am typing here. You are a campus information assistant. I hope all of you could see my prompt I am typing here. You are a campus information assistant. Provide short, accurate answers, mostly 1 to 3 sentences. This is called user writing the prompt about campus events and logistics. So this is called prompt engineering. You can write either a lengthy prompt or short prompt. As a beginner, you can start with some simple short prompts. Once you get some experience, you can write lengthy prompts. So here, if you see, the user is also interested to tell the bot, always be polite and concise. So you're telling to Google AI Studio Flash model to behave like a campus inquiry chatbot by providing campus related information. While providing information, you're also advising to provide answers should be short and accurate within 1 to 3 sentences, and answers should be polite and concise. Okay. So imagine you are just typing this short prompt and then clicking run. Now you could see two roles you are seeing, user role and model role. User is the one who is operating the Google AI Studio. Model is the Gemini Flash model 3. Yes, immediately, how did the model respond? It starts saying, hello, I am happy to assist you with any questions. regarding campus event or logistic, please let me know how I can help you today. That means by giving a system prompt, nothing but basic instruction, you are giving some context to the bot and making it behave, making it think like a campus inquiry bot only. Now, why we give system prompt and how to test it? Once you have trained it, if you can, you should ask questions only related to the campus only. If you ask any question other than campus related information, the bot should not answer. That's what we have given system prompt or system instruction. What is the difference between this prompt and previous prompt, participants? Previous prompt was a general one. It can relate to any answer. But here, in this case, to design an industry generative bot, user must first begin with a system prompt. Note down. If you want to design an insurance bot, you must write a system prompt which will tell the LLM to behave like insurance bot only. If you want to design an e-commerce chatbot, you must tell that it should start and behave like an e-commerce bot. If user forcibly accidentally types any wrong question, the bot should politely reply that I cannot answer this question as it is because it is not related to the context. So once we are done, see the bot name is appearing. You can click on the edit button here and you can rename your bot. Simply, I'm renaming this bot here as campus inquiry chatbot. Campus inquiry chat. So I save the name and click and simply click save. How did I get it? Just click the pencil icon here. You're noticing. Edit the title and description. Now your bot from here on, whatever questions you ask, it will respond only to the related to the campus only. Okay. Now let us test it. Can you tell about various courses? Let us test it. Can you tell about various courses offered in the campus? Offered in the campus. In the campus. So next we are testing whether our bot is intelligent or not, responding or not. Simply run the prompt. Either you can click run button or control key and enter key. Now let us see the results. User has asked a question. Model is trying to think. Yes. Our campus offers diverse range of undergraduate, postgraduate programs across engineering, business, liberal arts science. So the bot responded with some answer. Check correctly whether the bot given response, is it matching with our question? So how did we train our bot? We said the bot should behave like a campus assistant. It should behave like a campus information assistant. And we trained it giving the system prompt. And then immediately we asked it to tell about various courses. So it exactly responded as per our requirement. Now, let us try to test some other thing which is not related to the campus. Is generative AI, or we will just ask, is stock prices increasing? I'm just asking a out-of-box question here. Increasing. We are asking this question to campus inquiry bot. Let's run it. We asked a question which is out of box. Now the bot is taking a lot of time. Why do you think it is taking a lot of time, participants? It is trying to think out of the box and responded here. As of now, late December, something it is saying stock prices. But is it the right output? Should a campus inquiry bot should answer unrelated information? No, it should not answer. That means our training was not correct. We just set the bot to behave like a campus inquiry, but we did not write the system prompt regulations. So to improve that, what we can do is, once again, we can write the system prompt with more revisions. So I'll just take my system prompt here and train it correctly. Once again, I use this prompt. So I'm changing my system prompt. You should answer only. Now I'm extending, improving my model. You should answer only queries related to campus. You should not answer any other questions. Unrelated to campus. You may politely So you're writing the prompt like this, politely refuse to answer. So the user, the generative AI scientist, is trying to train the bot such that anything related to campus only, it should answer. Anything unrelated to campus, if asked, it should politely refuse to answer. So let's train our bot once again. Earlier, as we didn't train completely, it was answering about stock prices also. Now the model is yes. Now what the model said, understood. I am ready to assist you with any campus related events. Please let me know what campus information you need. Once again, I am asking the positive question. Hi, can you share information about the courses offered in the campus? So now this question, if you see participants, we are asking a question which is very much related to the campus information actually. Now let's run this here. Let us run this and see what answer the bot gives to us. This is called campus inquiry chatbot design. So it positively responded by saying our campus offers wide variety of undergraduate and graduate courses. Please visit registrar's office website. It is suggesting the student to visit this website for more details and enrollment also. Now let us test the bot. What is the stock price? What is the stock prices in the market? Now I'm trying to ask a question which is not related to the campus. What is the stock prices in the market? Now see the answer it gave. Everybody, if you are following, I apologize. I can only provide information related to campus events and logistics. Please let me know if you have any questions regarding our university only. Now, participants, if you are watching carefully how we are demonstrating, by this time you should understood LLM models are intelligent and human-like intelligent. Am I right, everybody? They are answering very well. So the way you train, the approach you train correctly, bots will behave intelligent. This is the power of generative AI in the real world. That is how your ChatGPT is working. That when you ask the question, it will give relevant answer only. Anything unrelevant if you ask, it will simply give output, sorry, I cannot answer. How intelligently we have trained. So you have to build a industry generative AI bot like this. Considering this basic experiences, you can build your generative AI bot to suit to your response answers. Hence, we could see how a simple campus inquiry text bot is well trained by the generative AI engineer to make it work like a real world application. So in all these demonstrations, what is most critical for all of you to understand is writing the prompt correctly, completely is very, very crucial actually. The way you write the prompt, the same way the model behaves. But you can improve the behavior of the LLM model. The bot, which is being trained by the model, in our case, Flash model we are using for training, as you could see. The way you write the prompt, Flash model accordingly tunes the knowledge and then generates the responses. Once you understand this basic essence, you are ready to build different generative AI bots for different industries. For example, in insurance industry, what happens is policies are sold to customers, different policies, healthcare policy, vehicle insurance accident policy, family policy, etc. So first you need to understand the domain knowledge of each industry and then accordingly design your generative AI bots and test them. Before you build the final bot, you have to test on Google AI Studio. And once the bots are working, make sure they are generating correct responses, which the user expects. Then you can convert this bot into a ready-made live application. So how to convert, that is part 2 we are going to talk very soon. This is the very first part of our demonstration participants to all of you on how the bots are working. Are we clear, everybody? Are you all able to understand now? All participants, I hope. What is how to connect to Google AI Studio platform, sign in, and then start using the playground, exploring Gemini Flash models, giving basic text inputs, and training and tuning our bots was demonstrated so far. This is the first part of our discussion in today. Like that, you can make your bots more user-friendly. That means you can write system prompts. Writing the system prompt is very, very useful. For instance, I can also extend this bot by writing change the tone to, see here, tone to friendly. So you are instructing the bot while responding, please change the tone to a friendly manner. So this extra, you could see the number of tokens. What user is typing, each individual word can be called as a token. So the spaces, everything will get counted. Each LLM model is characterized by the number of tokens it is processing. And for your information, there are limits. Each LLM model will have certain number of limits. Here, the limit I refer to number of tokens it is processing. Flash models have the less capability, while Gemini Pro models have the high capability to process millions and billions of tokens. Again, there are free models that you can using. Here I'm using a free model for demonstration. Paid models, commercial models are also used, but first you need to create project and then use those models within your Google Cloud account. Now we have changed the tone to a friendly response behavior. Okay, so that was the basic prompt engineering demonstration. How to create our bot, train it, tune it, and respond. Now coming to the right side portion, if you're observing everybody, on the right hand side portion of my screen, notice something is written called get code action. So when you click on get code, notice a Python backed code is being generated. Could you all see that? How did I get? Once again, I'm showing for your understanding. Please focus. After writing your prompts, imagine you want your colleagues, your friends in the real world to use your bot. Whichever generative bot you are designing, students, if you want your friends to use it in real world, you need to convert this into a readily usable application. That is called deconstructing bot intelligence, converting the bot into a readily usable application. To do that, simply click on get code here. Notice here the get code, a Python code is being generated. Something, it is automatically generated. You don't need to write the code. In the beginning, what Dr. Ganpati sir said, if you are following, no need of robust Python program. Basic essentials of Python, if you have, that is also very sufficient. You can still do generative AI greatly, like a real-time developer. So here, entire code is generated by the AI Studio platform. But we need to edit some part of the code. Some changes, minor changes only we have to do to make it a live working application. So for that, we have recommended a tool called Anaconda Python Jupyter. See here, I am now switching to the Anaconda Python environment, wherein the Python programming capabilities, libraries, supporting library functions, all are inbuilt and available for us. So all of these are inbuilt within the Python Anaconda environment. So we have already shared this software. Anybody needs, please contact the concerned coordinators. The software is available. You can install it. This is useful during training and hackathon also. It is a local installation, small preamp. Now, why we are using this Anaconda prompt? What is the connection between Anaconda Python, Jupyter Notebook, and Google AI Studio? As I said, if you want to convert your bot into a real-time application, working application, you must build the bot source code in Python and make the Python code communicate, interact with Google AI Studio using some mechanism called API key. I repeat, if you want to build a real-time generative AI bot for industry, you need to know three things, participants. Number one, how to operate the LLM, like Gemini Flash, Gemini Pro, Gemma models within Google AI Studio. That is the first learning. Second learning is basic knowledge of Python programming, understanding libraries, how to build the source code, and to run the code. That means when you run the Python program in your Anaconda, Jupyter, or Colab, or even PyCharm, any editor if you take, that program will do API calls. That means it will contact the model. From Python, Google Cloud will be contacted and model, Flash model will be activated. To do that, you need to create some connection with API key. Simple API key is nothing but a password to contact the Flash model or Pro model on the Google Cloud. Now, I am switching to the API key section, participants. How to create an API key, how to access it. First, you need to visit Google Cloud for this. How to visit Google Cloud? Note down. The URL is console.cloud.google.com. This is the URL. Note down, everybody. console.cloud.google.com. This will take you to the Google Cloud. Now, why we are visiting Google Cloud, I will tell you. First, before creating any API key in Google AI Studio, you must create one project in Google AI Studio. I repeat, before you create any API key, because we are freely using the LLMs with a simple Gmail sign-in account. So the technical requirement is you must visit the Google Cloud. You could see I have logged into my Google Cloud. Welcome message is appearing here. How did I log in? console.cloud.google.com. Then you must create a project. How to create a project? Once you have successfully logged in as a Gmail Cloud user, Google Cloud, notice on the top, Google Cloud logo is there. Very next to it, you will see some project names are appearing. This project I already created. So, but you will not see this project. You will see my first project will appear. Let me delete this project and show you the right interface so that as a beginner, you can easily understand. I'll shut down this project. You don't need to do this because that I have done last time. I'm shutting it down. Yes. Now let me delete this. First time users who log into Google Cloud, you will see your screen, welcome screen. Go to Cloud Overview, welcome message. This is what you see, participants. Select a project will appear. I repeat, first time as a beginner, when you sign into Google Cloud, console.cloud.google, you will see a name, select a project. Simply click on select a project. And then on the top portion, you see new project is there. See, the new project button is there. Now I'm showing Google Cloud. Earlier I have shown Google AI Studio. These are the tools you must understand. I am just naming this my project here as a simple sample project. I'm just naming it as sample project. You don't need to mention any organization name because we are running as a cloud user. Simply click create. To operate this cloud, participants, simple, you need Gmail ID, nothing else. If you have a valid Gmail username password, you can operate this environment freely. Now the sample project is being created. You could see that. Now currently, which project are we accessing? Sample project. How did we create my? Once again, just go to console.cloud.google.com, sign in with Gmail username password, click on select a project, and on the right side, click new project button, give a name to the project and click create. What name I have given? Sample project. That's it. Now project is created. Once project is created, now we have to switch to the Google AI Studio. We have to check whether user created project in Google Cloud, is it displayed, is it available here or not. For a time being, you just sign out of Google AI Studio so that the web interface gets refreshed, or simply you can click on refresh button also. I have just signed out from Google AI Studio here for a reason. Why? Because my Google Cloud platform just created a project. First, I will sign into my Google Cloud again. Sometimes what happens on Google Cloud is, if you create a project on Google Cloud, it might not appear on Google AI Studio. So either you refresh your browsers, or recommended practice is wherever, whenever required, you sign out of the Google Cloud and sign out of the AI Studio and then re-sign in again. Now I have signed into my Google AI Studio. Which project I'm accessing? Sample project. Let's go ahead and sign into Google AI Studio. How to sign in? aistudio.google.com. aistudio.google.com. Yes. Now I'm re-signing. Yes, it is automatically signed. Now let us see whether we can create our API keys or not. To create the API key, you have to visit Get API Key section. Note down all these steps. These have been incorporated into the learning PPT. But for your perfect reasoning learning, you must follow these steps. Now, notice, participants, we entered API key section. Now, what exactly API key is? As a beginner, you should understand API key is something like a password. Normally, you people submit a password to sign into your inbox, right? Same way, API key is a password that the Google developer will use to contact or talk to Gemini models. Without API key, you cannot talk, you cannot make communication between Python program and Gemini models. That is API key. But why we are creating, as I already said, but once again I'm repeating for your understanding. As of now, we are working in Google AI Studio. Models are within AI Studio. But what if you sign out of the AI Studio, but still want to use your Gemini model? That means you are closing the Google AI Studio window, browser window, but still you want to contact the Gemini model outside of the AI Studio, where you are writing Python program. For such a type of environments, we call as development environments, real-time development environment. We have to create a bridge, communication bridge between the Python development environment, like your PyCharm editor, Jupyter Notebook, or Spider Notebook, etc. You can make them contact the Gemini models with using API key. That is the first requirement why we are learning API keys in this training program. And the second thing is to create API key in AI Studio, Google AI Studio. The mandatory step is you have to go to Google Cloud, sign in, create one project. That project you have to import here, or you have to create project here also. Either you can create a project or import the project. So go to the project section. When you go to the project section, I hope you got see the project tab which I clicked here. A button is there at the bottom named import projects. Simply click on import projects. And now notice here a project name sample project is appearing. I repeat, participants, if you are following correctly, first click on get API key and then visit projects tab. Once again, I'm showing get API key on the left hand side should be clicked. Project tab should be clicked, and then import projects button should be used. Once you click import projects, right hand side some project names are appearing. Notice in my case, just now I created one project named sample project. Where did I create this? I created this in Google Cloud. How did I log in? console.cloud.google.com. Just enter your Gmail username and Gmail account password and then create the project, save it, and then come back to Google AI Studio. This is the process that you all have to learn and implement during Hackathon also clearly. Without creating this project, you cannot create API key, participants. Please note down this important point. If you don't create a sample project, or if you don't create a project, first of all, API key will not be created. Google Cloud follows some strict security rules here. So I select the project name and I just now activated this project. Simply I'll type sample project. Sample project. Now it is loading, or there is no space here while typing sample project. Yes, it located my sample project. See, click on it. Now that sample project I will import. That is the step. This is called importing the Google Cloud project. Now I have the sample project. Next step is creating the API key. On the right hand side, you have the create API key button. First, you give some meaningful name for your key here and enter some name as sample key. Name spaces are not allowed. Either you can use an underscore symbol or with no spaces, sample key. And very important thing here, if you notice, Google AI Studio is asking which project do you want to use. So click on the select a cloud project button and make sure try to select the same project that you created in Google Cloud actually. If you try to associate any other project, because the working architecture of Google is one API key per one project. Note down this, everybody. Every project is allowed to use one API key maximum because you are freely using it. But if you have a subscription, Google Cloud subscription, you don't have this limitation. But that is a paid one. Industrial project developments, we use Google Cloud subscription. But for learning, training, and hackathon purposes, this type of model we recommend for all of you. One project you have to create, immediately you are eligible to create one API key for that project. Maximum around 15 to 17 projects are allowed. At the most, Google Cloud can give you 21 projects in a free version, not more than that. So click sample project and click create key. Now you notice, participants, Google Cloud has created one API. And notice what is that free tier. It is showing free tier. One project can have one API key under free tier, not more than that. If you want to create again, you delete this API key or you delete the project and recreate again. Now your sample key is available. When I click on it, notice the API key, alphanumeric API key is generated. You should not share this key with other students or other colleagues, as this key is related to your Google Cloud. Because in real world, when you're working in industry developer as a developer, the cloud will generate billing, certain amount of billing. Whenever a LLM model is running, it will accept user given inputs and process them. The number of tokens are limited, as I said. So the processing power of the model is limited under free tier. If you go beyond that number of tokens, for instance, let us assume Flash model can process 1 million tokens maximum freely, but your given prompt is having 10 million tokens. Can it process? No. But if you want to process, you have to buy that Flash model. You have to spend some subscription fee to use that Flash model, where your input text prompt tokens are larger beyond the free tier limit. But if your text prompt tokens are within the free tier, you can create an API key and access that model automatically. Now I'm copying this API key which I generated. Always it is recommended to store this API key securely, safely in a notepad file. Never share your API keys to other users, because if you accidentally or unknowingly share your key, they will start using your API key and start making API calls to models. The models will generate bill for you. But as of now, in the free tier, again, I'm repeating, this is free tier. This API key doesn't cost you anything, students. Anything, it is zero cost, because we are using which model? Flash models are freely. But instead of Flash, recall, if I go to Gemini Pro or Nano Banana, I have to spend some money. That's why for training and hackathon, we don't need to use Flash and we don't need to use Gemini Pro and Gemini Nano Banana. Flash models are sufficient for you to build basic industry parts. Now I copied the key. Now, how should I use this key? I want to create a simple text bot. I want to create some Python based project for this. And I can use this key within my Google AI Studio. And as I said already, you can use the generated Python code. Just go to the playground. Notice on the right hand side, get code is there. When you click on get code, once again, you could see Python based code is generated automatically. You don't need to write it. Basic code is generated. Now import commands are written. Import libraries. From Google, import GenAI. GenAI stands for Generative AI Library, supported by Google. And notice when user-defined function is created, define generate the environment. And here you notice Gemini API key. Something is written here as Gemini API key. You have to delete that label and paste your API key here. I repeat, here we are trying to generate the code and try to copy that code and paste it in a Python environment, and simply paste our key that we created here and run the code. Using that API key, our model, which model here we are using? Gemini 3 Flash Preview model. You could see that we are using a simple Gemini 3 Flash Preview model to build our text bot. That text bot can easily use this API key and run queries, answer those queries given by the user correctly. So how easy generative AI we are demonstrating for beginners like you. You could simply get the code, create the API key, copy paste the API key in place of this source code labeled as Gemini API key, delete this label and paste your key, and then run. Now, just like you saw your Google AI Studio prompts are interacting, you can build a live application with this approach. This is the fundamental mechanism of understanding. Now, let me present the industry projects, which are very interesting for all of you. I know you're all waiting for the industry projects demonstration, generative AI. Let me move on to that. Now, let me come back to my presentation. We spoke about the Gemini. We spoke about the Flash models integration and how to connect the Flash models, demonstrate a simple text interaction with Flash models, and how to create API key, and then start using the API key in our models we have demonstrated. Now, moving on to the most exciting topic, that is building simple domain Gen AI bots industry projects. I hope participants, you could see my PPT clearly. Yes, now I made it full screen. First use case, try to understand this session very carefully. Once you understand these bots which we are building, industry bot, that becomes the entry point for your hackathon. So in hackathon, easily, whenever some problem statement is given to you, easily you could build the bots very quickly. So this procedure we are using. Yeah. Sai Kiran, you have asked a question in our WhatsApp group. I have created 2 projects and generated 2 API keys. Can use them. Very good question, Sai Kiran. Appreciate. As I said, each project in Google Cloud is permissible to use 1 API key. Please note down this, Sai Kiran Nani, the participant named. Generally, in free tier, you are not supposed to create the multiple API keys. That's a conflict. Such a type of multiple API keys might create a problem during your project execution. When you type the Python code, even when you mention the correct API key, because in free tier, it cannot connect to the right API key. So the recommended practice we say is, per project, you create 1 API key as a professional practice. Hope Sai Kiran, you are clear with the query. Yeah, like that, students, if you have any queries, please post in our WhatsApp group. We are here to guide you and help you. Now, going to the first project, use case 1, insurance query bot. Imagine one day, one insurance company approached your college or you and wanted to hire you as an intern for internship. They want you to design a generative AI bot, which will serve as an insurance query bot. What is insurance query bot? Here, you must be very careful in designing bot. First, you must give a system prompt. In system prompt, what you have to write, I am demonstrating here. You are an insurance assistant. Answer with simple, safe, and factual responses. If user asks for any legal or financial advices, show a disclaimer. That means this bot will work like a insurance advisor. That means it should tell what is the need for buying a policy. Like that, it should answer. It should never advise the user buy which policy, how much premium you have to pay, whether the policy can be claimed or not. Such a type of real world insurance domain it should avoid. So it should just act like an information sharing assistant only, such that any user who visits that insurance company website will get some basic information about the company. That is the bot we have to design. Now the workflow I'm demonstrating, then I will show the hands-on. First step always in generative AI in Google AI Studio is you have to first give the system prompt to your Google Flash model or whichever model you're choosing. The system prompt given correctly itself is an indication to the bot that it have to generate responses accordingly. This is about insurance assistant. Now I'm showing the screens here. Notice how we are working. Then I will do the same action. First, I'll go to my Google AI Studio, go to my playground, and I will select Flash model, Gemini Flash, latest or Gemini Preview. Do not select Pro models, Nano Banana. They are not free. Even if you try to access them and create API key also, when you run the API key in Python, you will get a source code error, 403 error will come, indicating that the Pro models and Nano Banana doesn't have quota. Free quota is not there. Only Flash models have certain free quota for learning. Then you type the prompt, whichever I have shown in the previous screen. Observe participants, this is the prompt, system prompt, is an instruction to the bot to behave like an insurance assistant. Simply type the prompt in your prompt window and click run. Once you click run, and you have to save the name of the bot you are saving as insurance query bot. You have to save it as insurance query bot. Yes, I am answering. To run the code, I will be showing one code here, demonstration. That's what I'm answering. Where we can run the above code with that API key, I am showing the Python code base. Hello. The answer just one. I am answering parallelly on the WhatsApp group also. Okay. Yeah. Now I will show one code. First, we are creating the bot, then using the API key and run the code also. Yes. Now, how to run this is, first we will give the system prompt. Okay. Observe everybody, system prompt was given by user and model is generating the thought. The model is generating the thought here. So here clearly it generated answer. I understand. I am ready to assist you with your insurance question. So now from here on, it will behave as an insurance bot only. But how to code it? To use this, now I am opening the Python program. Watch it, everybody. Now I have created a insurance bot app. This, how did I do? I used Anaconda Python installer and I have written my code here. The code base will be shared to you after the technical session for your practice, the PPT code base. Participants, can you see my Anaconda Python Jupyter? Everybody can see that, right? Yes. Now the first step is we have to import the libraries. But before doing this, before running this Python code, a very important step I would like to talk about, that is project dependencies. I'm back to my PPT again. I'll be switching between PPT and Jupyter. So please be very cautious. Note down these two libraries, participants. If you want to do generative AI using Google AI Studio, and you want to convert that the bot into a web-based bot, you need to use Streamlit web framework. So you need to install these two dependencies using pip install. Pip install Google Gen AI, pip install Streamlit Google Gen AI. Google Gen AI for contacting Flash models, Streamlit for converting that bot into a web framework or a website or a simple web-based app that runs locally. So where to install? Everybody notice it. First, click on Windows Start menu. If you have already installed Anaconda 3 Python Jupyter, you need to go to Anaconda 3 and then move to Anaconda prompt actually. You need to move to Anaconda prompt. So now the Anaconda prompt, that is the command line, will come. Here you could see base environment is appearing, root directory username. There we have to install these commands, participants. I repeat. So I am into my desktop. First switch to desktop directory using CD. And then notice pip install Google Gen AI. This is the command for installing generative AI. Google generative AI will be installed in Anaconda Python. This is the first command we have to follow. Already I have installed it before starting the training session only. But first time users, when you are doing this command, pip install Google-Gen AI, when you run, the Google's generative AI library will be installed in your Anaconda Python environment correctly. Now, as I already installed, I'm getting message requirement already satisfied. That is the first library. These are called project dependency or environment dependencies, we have to call this. The second library, if you see, participants, pip install Streamlit Google Gen AI. Pip install Streamlit Google Gen AI. What is Streamlit? Again, I'm highlighting. Streamlit is a web-based framework to build generative AI applications as web applications. Other than Streamlit, there are other frameworks like Flask framework, Django framework. Python supports Streamlit, Django, and Flask frameworks. Gradio is also one of the web framework used by developers for building small applications. All these web frameworks are to be installed within Python. But for our training program and hackathon program, we are using the Streamlit as our web framework to support, because Streamlit builds very good web applications where you can run your Gen AI bots. These two we have to install. Before building your Python code, you have to go to Anaconda prompt and build it. So in my Anaconda prompt, I just wrote the command pip install Streamlit Google Gen AI. This also I have installed previously, so I got requirement already satisfied. Once again, how did I go to Anaconda prompt? I am demonstrating, participants. Notice, after installing Anaconda Python 3.10 software, which we shared, you have to go to Windows Start menu, Anaconda 364-bit, and Anaconda prompt you have to click. When you click Anaconda prompt, you are redirected to the command line environment. There you have to switch to the directory where you have saved your programs. I have saved my Python programs on my desktop. Then I'm switching to my current directory, CD desktop. So this is first process. Now coming to the Python code quickly. I hope all of you could see the Python code. Yes. After installing Google Generative AI library, after installing Streamlit library, then let us see the first project insurance bot, how we are building in the Python. Now, most of you might wonder, if you don't know Python code, how will I write? That's what in the Google AI Studio, once again, I'm switching to Google AI Studio. On the right hand side, you have get code section. Notice everybody, get code is there. When you click on get code, Python code is automatically generated. All you need to do is download that code. Download button is there or copy button is there, anything. You can open in Colab or you can download. When you click on download button, this code automatically downloads. How will you open that code? Just install Anaconda Python 3.10 or whichever version. Python 3.10 is the most stable we recommend for your training and hackathon because all libraries are supported in it. So already we shared this. Ganpati Rao sir will share to your coordinator. You can install it after the training session. Now the entire code is generated as it is. All you need to do is just make minor modifications only. So no need to worry. How will I write the lengthy code as a beginner? It is not possible for me. You don't need to worry that. Code is auto-generated. So the base library, base64 library is being used because our input given in the Google AI Studio is text prompt, but Python is processing them in a different format. That is called base64 standard library is used for text to data processing conversions. And OS library is used to set the connection between your Python environment and your that is Python development environment and your current working directory. From Google, we'll import Gen AI library and then import types also because generative AI has different types of models. What are the models? Recall: Flash model, Pro model, Nano Banana, Pro Preview. Many models are there. That's why to access those models, we are importing the types library. Now, coming to the next part of section, don't run your code here. Just understand the code. Where we will run this code? In the Python command line we will run. First, we will understand the code one by one, line by line, convert that code into Streamlit web app, and then at a time we will run the code from the command line. Now, the next thing is we are writing a user-defined function called generate. What is the generate function will do is it will generate a API key. Here, client refers to your Google AI Studio, which is a web browser. Server is your Google Cloud. Now here you see API key. I will delete this old API key. Just go to my Google AI Studio. Recall, just a few minutes ago, we have built the API key. Am I right? We created one project. On that project, we created one API key. And you can copy this API key and paste it exactly in your Python code. This API key now becomes the bridge between Python Jupyter on the local computer and Google AI Studio Flash model. So which model are we using here? Gemini Flash latest. Here you should be very careful, participants. Current model, whichever you are using in Google AI Studio, its name should be exactly written. How will you get the name here? I am back to my Google AI Studio. If you are watching my screen, on the right hand side, name of the model is written as Gemini 3 Flash Preview. Whereas in my code, I have written Gemini Flash latest. So make sure you use the right name. Copy this name or type it as it is, Gemini 3 Flash Preview. Flash Preview. So here I edit my model name, Gemini 3. That is a model. If this is available, code will run. If it is not available, it show error. Gemini 3 hyphen Flash hyphen Preview. In case if you get errors with Flash Preview, you can change it to latest also. That is also available. First, let us test the code with our current model, Gemini 3 Flash Preview. So I just changed it. Rest part of the code, if you see, you are trying to generate some text content in user role. The role is user. So user is typing a query. Because this is an insurance bot, as I said just now, user is typing, what is cashless insurance? This is one prompt. Imagine user is writing. Such a prompt will be given to which model? Gemini 3 Flash model. How does Python send this question to this model? Anybody? API key is the secret. Because we have given the API key, using this API key, it is contacting Gemini 3 Flash model and raising this prompt. So some of you might ask, can't we ask this question directly in Google AI Studio? Yes, you can ask this question directly in Google AI Studio. But why we are building this Python based application now? If you want your friends to use your insurance bot, you must build a Python based bot actually. That's why we are writing the Python based coding. Again, I'm repeating, this code is automatically generated by Google AI Studio. Just visit Get Code section, copy or download that code, open the code in Jupyter, Python, Jupyter Notebook. Just paste the API key. That's it. Only simple step you have to do is paste the API key and then start building your application. When you run the bot, each phrase, each word like what, is, cashless, insurance, question mark, spaces, every token is processed. A token can be a word or a letter or a character. Every token, that is, in the natural language processing, the sentence is tokenized, broken down into individual words and characters. Such tokens are passed to the Gemini 3 Flash preview model one by one. That's why we are using a for loop here. Here, chunk, the object chunk or variable chunk refers to an individual word or a smallest alphabet or a symbol or a question mark. So each chunk is from the client is passed to the model, and the model will analyze those chunks and then it will print the results. The result is what? When user is asking what is cashless insurance as a question to Gemini model, contacted by Python using the API key, immediately the results are generated as text chunks. Then finally, we are running the main program function. So up to this part 1 is called bot design actually. That is, you are trying to build a bot, generative AI bot, using Google's Gemini Flash model, accessing the Flash model using user generated secret API key. So one project, one API key is being generated. If you try to create more than one API key in that project, it will, but you are wasting your quota because Google's restrictions, we have to understand Google Cloud restrictions clearly as a beginner. One API key for one project is a valid practice. But if you create more than one API key, students, accidentally, it is also okay. But when you run the prompt, when you run the Python code, first time you will run with one API key, second time you will run with another, Google Cloud will track your free account. Please note down, Google Cloud tracks your free account limits and it will immediately stop you that your free tier expired. Once your free tier quota expired, you are not eligible to create API keys in that project. Then how will you go forward? Again, you have to go to Google Cloud, delete that old project, or completely create new project. Maximum 17 to 21 projects are allowed in free tier per Gmail account. That's why smartly, you have to use this learning technique smartly. Just create one project, one API key, use it, then you can delete it. But more multiple API keys, your account is being tracked and you might be ruled out. So that code runs. Now the next part is, the second part of this project is bot development. How should users use this bot? For this, Python uses a web framework called Streamlit, a very popularly known web-based framework. That means in industry, many Python developers are using Streamlit as a backbone framework for developing web applications. Here also we are developing one web-based bot that will use Gemini model in the backend, Flash model, and answer our questions. For this, remember in the command prompt earlier, in the Anaconda command prompt, we have installed pip install Google Gen AI, pip install Streamlit. Both these installations have to be done in the command prompt only. Please note down this point. While some of you might also learn like this. In the Jupyter Notebook, can I install? Yes. In the Jupyter Notebook, if you want to install, you have to use an exclamation mark and write the command as pip install Streamlit. This is also a recommended way. Pip install Streamlit, pip install Google Gen AI. Like that also, you can install your libraries. But this method is not recommended in industry. If you want to be a real-time developer, always whatever project libraries, we call it as project dependencies. If you want to use, recommended method is you directly go and install the dependencies in your command prompt. Other alternative method is, note down, you have to create a notepad file, participants. In the notepad file, all the dependencies, whatever you want, like Google Gen AI, Streamlit, or any other libraries, Python library you want, first enter them in a notepad file, save that file as requirements.txt. This is also very professional approach industry follows, requirements.txt. You save it on downloads or desktop. So once you save, you have to go to your Anaconda command prompt. Simply, you can say requirements.pip install requirements.txt. The command you have to write is pip install requirements.txt. So whatever libraries, project libraries you have written in requirement.txt, Python will install one after the other library. This is the recommended approach. We would appreciate our participants if they can create requirements.txt file and run them during hackathon also. That is the recommended way. So this is one way of doing. Already we have installed, so I'm not installing requirements file. Now directly the next step is we will build our Streamlit web app. Now make a call. The Streamlit web app should make a call to the Gemini model using the API key. Which API key you used in the previous code, use the same API key here. Make sure the API key is same. So that's why we have written comments here. If you see our code, easy to read comments, put your key here. So here, this is my key that I have generated in my Gmail account. So when you sign in with your Gmail account, participants, you have the privilege to create your key also. Using the Streamlit, we can create wonderful bots. First, I have imported Streamlit and aliased it as ST. Title command will show the name of the bot. The name of the bot I'm writing as insurance query bot. This bot will take some text input. In the text input, I am asking user, please ask a question. Once user asks a question, there is a button I am putting at the bottom. How will you design the button? In Streamlit, there is a function called button function, which works like a push button or clickable button. Its label we are naming as ask. Once user types a question as a text input and clicks on ask button, immediately Python program will forward that argument, that entered argument input question to which model? To the Gemini Flash model. How was Gemini Flash model contacted? Using the API. If this API key exists in your Google AI Studio, then only this program works, participants, please note down. If this API key is deleted in Google AI Studio or project is deleted, Python program will show errors. So don't worry. During your project development, during hackathon, if any of you are getting errors, simple logic is go to your Google AI Studio, go to your Get API Key section, check whether API key is existing or not. If this section is empty, no API key, Python program will not work. This is the first observation you should keep in mind. Second, that API key, whichever you are using in Python code, it should be copied from the Google AI Studio only. Just open the key, click on the copy button on the right hand side, then go to Python and paste it as it is. And once all these care is taken, you can start designing your bot. Now you can ask questions. User role is to ask question. Model's role, which is the model Gemini Flash latest. Make sure which model is currently shown in the Google AI Studio. That model name only we should use. Gemini 3 Flash Preview I'm using. So that model name only I have to use here. Already I have written here Gemini 3 Flash Preview. I'll copy and then edit. In case Flash Preview doesn't work, again we will change to Gemini Flash latest only. These are free models. Gemini Pro model and Gemini Nano Banana never use in your free tier students again because it requires subscription quota to run the queries. Now user asked question will be given to Gemini 3 Flash and responses are generated and stored as content object. We will print the response. So this is the overall Python project development coding approach we have to follow in Anaconda Python. So far, whatever is being covered, I'm giving a summary. First, introduction to the Gemini, Google AI Studio, how to sign into Google AI Studio, how to access Gemini models, demonstrate basic simple text interactions, building a campus query bot, tuning the prompts to make the model behave more professionally using system prompt instructions we have demonstrated. We also understood how to create Python code by going to the get code section, how to create API keys, what are API keys, how to create API key, how to sign in into Google Cloud, create one project, how to import that project into Google AI Studio and create API key, how to use that API key in Python program, and how to run the model we have created the Python code so far. Once this is done, now save your project. How will you save? Just click on the untitled, enter your bot name. I have entered the bot name as insurance bot app and click rename or name. In Anaconda Python, all your Python files will be saved as .ipynb. I repeat, participants, in your Jupyter Anaconda, all files will be saved as .ipynb extension, Iron Python notebook. Yes, ipynb. But if you want to run this Python Jupyter notebook in a single run, in one shot, you have to save your project name as .py. Note down this basics. By default, when I saved, it will be saved as .ipynb file. But if you want to run your Python program project in the Anaconda command prompt, you have to download your project as .py. Simply .py. How will you download? Notice. Just go to the file menu in Anaconda Jupyter, go to download as and save it as .py. See, one option is there, python.py. You can download it as .ipynb notebook, that is Jupyter notebook ipynb, or directly Python file. Recommended practice is first you build the Python code, save it. It will be saved as .ipynb. Go to file menu, download as .python. So when I just click .python, notice the project is downloaded here. See, it is downloaded. What is the name of the project? Insurance bot app.py. Where it is downloaded, usually all files that you downloaded will go into the download section. Now I will move this file and put it on my desktop. See here, I have moved my file and pasted it where? Desktop. Why did I move to desktop now? Because in my command prompt, my current working directory is which directory? Notice, desktop directory. Alternatively, you can go to the downloads directory and directly run there. Okay, so we have built the Python code and we have downloaded .py file, and the name of that .py file is insurance_bot_app.py. It is now. How will you run this bot? So the command to run this I will show here. So we have completed the code. This code will be shared with you, don't worry. After demonstration of sessions, finally, the code, the entire Python code, as well as the PPT will all be shared with your learning resources to you all for your reference reading. Now, to run this bot, simply we have to use the Streamlit command. We have to run the Streamlit command. Let me show on this here. Yes. So we will just run this bot in the Streamlit. The command I will just show you. Basic command for your reference. Always, two important libraries are important. One is Google Gen AI and Streamlit Google Gen AI for our training in Hackathon. This is very, very much important. Simply use the command Streamlit. Notice here, everybody. First, Streamlit web server name, run command, and name of your Python file. In our case, it is insurance bot app. So same thing we have to do. Streamlit, run, name of the bot. Now I'm running it here. See. Streamlit, space. You have to give one space, then run. Name of our project, Python project we have created or downloaded is what? As it is, you copy so that you don't make typo errors. .py. Make sure you use the file name as .py. After creating the bot, converting into Streamlit web app, go to your Anaconda prompt, go to the directory where you have downloaded that Python file and run the project as Streamlit space run space insurance bot app.py. Run the command and wait for the Streamlit server to activate. Hope all of you are following clearly. Everyone, how we are building the technical environment? Yes, it runs on now on localhost. Now your browser window will open automatically. Streamlit support server is 8501 participants. Note down. The Streamlit web server runs on the port number or listens on the port number 8501. Now your web app is being generated in the backend. Localhost 8501. If you get any error, for instance, if the Streamlit web server does not show the bot, see, I got error. What did it say? 429 resource exhausted. See, you exceeded your current quota. Please checking your plan and billing details. Why it means? Because I have been creating on my free tier many projects and my account, Gmail account is not sufficient enough to use this. So simple, you don't need to worry when you get this error. You just sign into Google AI Studio with a different Gmail. So you need to have one or two multiple Gmail accounts for a better approach. So I will change my Gmail account sign in, because here it said all my project quota have been exhausted. That's why it is not the error of the Python. It is the error of the Gmail account, which doesn't support any further API key quota. How to resolve this? Let us go ahead, close these interfaces, sign out of your Google AI Studio. Initially, change your account. This type of demonstration is very important, participant, because during hackathon, while you're building, some of you get this error and you might get panic. Sir, my account is not working. What should I do? No need to worry, students. You just need to sign in with a different account. I'll take a completely different account. I have multiple Gmail. Just repeat the process quickly. I'll just use some different account. And make sure the project here also, Google Cloud also, you sign it in. Let me complete my authentication here. Google Cloud is a highly strict cloud with high authentication, but I have set a multi-factor authentication. Okay, I'll sign with another account. Not possible. So ensure to see your API key accounts. First time users may not get this issue. If you never created an API key so far, you will not get this issue. Let me complete the authentication. Yes. Now I have logged in with a different account. Here you could see. Yes. I've just checked with different. Now my Google AI Studio is logged with some other account other than this thing, my secondary account. Now I'm using Gemini 3 Flash Preview. Same things we have to repeat, participants. So you just need to train the bot once again from the beginning. I just use the context here. So first go to your playground, Gemini models, then write your prompt correctly. This is system prompt where I have begun. System prompt was created here. Okay. Then let us run this. We are training the bot to behave like insurance agent. Now the bot understood, it is ready for us. No, we'll use a temperature. We don't enable it. Next step is we have to sign into our Google Cloud. How will you sign in? console.cloud.google.com. Use the same Gmail. Use the same Gmail that you logged into your Google AI Studio. With the same mail, you have to log in. Now go to the welcome message. You see the welcome message. If any projects are existing, there are many projects. See, many projects are there. Already I've created. You know how to create a project. As I said, you click new project. As a first time user, you don't see these many because you never logged into Google Cloud so far. So I have one project here. Demo project is there, or my Gen project is there. I will make it as a current project so that I can use this API key. Then I switch to my Google AI Studio, visit Get API Key section, check the Projects tab, import a project. So here, one project is there, MyGen AI. I'll just use that MyGen AI project. And then I will import it. This is the same step that I did in the last account. And then copy that API key which was existing. This is the problem. When you have multiple API keys, the quota gets existed. I hope all of you are understanding. Now, replace your old API key with the current one. This was the API key that I created in my previous Gmail. Replace all API keys. In the entire code, if any old API keys are there, replace with the new project API key. Save your project again. Make sure you download. Always how you are running. First, you need to delete the old project and then go to your Python and say download your notebook. Download your Python notebook as .py file. Again, this will be downloaded in our downloads folder, as you could see. If you want, you can directly run from the downloads folder, but in this case, because I'm in my desktop environment, I'm moving the file to insurance bot. The process is same. Now, how will you run this bot? Go to the Anaconda command prompt. Don't open Jupyter Notebook. Already Jupyter Notebook is running. Just open Anaconda prompt. In the Anaconda prompt, make sure you connect to your active working directory. That is CD. Desktop is my current working directory. And how will you run the Streamlit server? Streamlit space run space name of the Python project that we created, that we downloaded just now. Name of the Python project that we created. So it is in downloads folder. Okay, I just need to paste it here. Let me download again. File, download as Python file. Now let's move on to the desktop. I'll paste it here. Okay, it's already there. Yes, it is there here. Yes. Copy the project name and then simply type here. Make sure you add the extend.py. Again, see, if you get any error, by this time you should have understood the importance of API key limitations. If you are creating project for the first time, if you are creating API key first time, quota limitation, resource exhausted errors will not occur. Because if I am using already existing project API key that I have used last time and running, this wanted I am demonstrating to showcase to you beginners that an API key in a free time has a restricted quota usage. Now let's run and wait for the Streamlit web server response. It opens on the local host with 8501. Now I have changed it in my Google account. I have used API keys. Here also it is showing exhaust, means that API keys we have already used. How to solve this problem? Go to that Google account, delete all the projects. Whatever projects exist in your Google Cloud earlier, that is, as a developer, you have to delete and recreate the projects and recreate the API key. But the output of this app, when you run the Streamlit, I'm back to my presentation again, participants. See, when you run this Streamlit server, how would the output look like? Yes, this is the beautiful output it would look like. I hope you all can see my PPT. Is it visible? Yes. So it will show localhost 8501. The bot will come. Let me show the insurance bot first. That was the healthcare bot. Once you understand one bot, participants, very easy to understand the remaining thing. Let me show the output of the insurance query bot, how the Streamlit web server shows that bot output. I'm sure. Yes, this is the bot output. Immediately, you will get the title insurance query bot. We have written ask a question, where you will enter the question and click ask button. Once you enter a question and click ask, what happens behind the scene is user entered question, that is prompt, will be sent to Gemini Flash model via the API key. Hence, the entire success of the generative AI bot building will depend on which factors? Google Cloud project one side, and API key creation. Hence, you are all advised to create one new project in Google Cloud, import it into Google AI Studio, and then create key. That key must be used for this project part. Trying to use the same API key multiple times, again note down this important point, will generate such errors which I have shown. That is, your Google account, your API key quota free tier exhausted, Streamlit server will not show the bot. But how to resolve? Tips and tricks we are giving. Either you have to delete that old project. Where will you delete? Go to Google Cloud, shut down the project. That project will be removed. Wait for 10 to 20 seconds, cloud will refresh, and then you can build your bot. To do this, once done, the bot is ready. Prompts you have to enter. Those are called test prompts. Sample test prompts here I have given. I hope you could see. What is cashless insurance? Explain health insurance for a beginner. What is deductible? Simply, you enter the prompts into the window. Just enter the prompts one by one and click ask button. Results will be generated. Just like you have entered prompt and saw the result in Google AI Studio, such activity you convert into web application using your Streamlit web framework. This is the first project demonstration today on industrial project section. How can a beginner understand Google Gemini LLM models, understand Google AI Studio developer environment, Google Cloud, creating empty project, importing the project, and then trying to create API key for testing the Streamlit server. Same way, if you see the next use case, that is from the industry, we are giving healthcare symptom explainer bot. First was one insurance bot, where we have given system prompt to behave like insurance agent. Now the second use case is healthcare symptom explainer bot. Here the job of this bot is to provide short, safe, educational explanations about symptoms. But this bot will not do any diagnosis. Who will do diagnosis? Generally, medical doctor practitioner has to do diagnosis. This bot only provides information related to user asked symptoms only. So it is a very basic bot. Here also, which model are we using? Gemini Flash latest or Gemini Flash preview, free tier. That's why I've written particularly this model is available for free tier users with one API key. Anything other than free tier, multiple API keys, trying to use same API key, errors as you saw will appear. How would you start your work? Just sign into your aistudio.google.com, go to the home tab, chat with models. When you click on chat with models, you will get some models like Gemini 3 Pro Preview, Nano Banana, Flash Latest. Sometimes it will show other models also based on your last usage. Follow the same process. Which process we followed so far in building the insurance agent, we will follow the same process. Use one model, set the temperature. Never forget about the temperature settings, participants. Recall, few minutes ago, I strongly said setting the temperature to the lower level will make the model behave very basic knowledge. What? Setting too high temperature, that is increasing the temperature to 1 or beyond 1, sometimes beyond 2, 3 also, will make the model answer creative answers. What are creative answers? That means it will try to give extra explanation. Even though if you don't want, it will give extra explanation when you set the temperature higher. So test the bot with different temperature settings also. Now the system prompt, how we have to do the system prompt? You are a healthcare explainer bot, provide only general education information, not diagnosis. So here, because two of our Google Cloud projects are already occupied, so what I do is I will sign out of this, because deleting each project again requires 20 to 30 minutes wait time to refresh that. So I just sign out. And any API keys are there, you can delete. How to delete an API key? For instance, if you want to delete an API key, just go to the right side and you can delete the key. This can be done in Google AI Studio. For a project, you can delete API key. Right. Now, I will just try to go and sign in this time. Let me see if I can show you a working bot, one bot at least. I'll use a completely different account, which I might not have used so far. So I will just go to my Google Cloud, console.cloud.google.com. So two accounts, existing API keys, will create a confusion to the developer that how quota limitations are quite a challenge. So considering this, make sure your development environment is quite comfortable and it uses an API key which was never used during the project development time. Yes, now let me sign in with a different account. But remember, you don't need to have these many Gmails. Some of you might have a question, sir, do I need to have multiple Gmails? Because I have been using in my training program, that's why I got. But you never did Gen AI so far. If that's your case, one Gmail account is sufficient, students. Please note down. If you have never worked on Google Cloud, Google AI Studio like this, you won't get such errors because I have been using multiple times. I wanted to show that limitation quota errors. Wantedly, I have created a scenario for you all. So now I am using an account which I never used so far on Google AI Studio, hopefully, and I am trying to log in with that. Authentication is must. Google follows multi-factor authentication, but that I have set up for extra safety. Yes. Authentication is completed. Once you sign into Google Cloud, make sure to check the projects, which projects are existing or which are not existing. If any projects are existing, we must delete that. Yes, see here, one test project is existing already. My first project and test project are existing. So I can create one new project, but make sure you can delete. How to delete? Just go to the test project, go to the settings, and simply say shutdown. There is a shutdown button here. You can simply shut down. Simply say shutdown. Shutdown means you are ready to delete that project from Google Cloud. Of course, deletion will take some time. Few minutes it will take, and you just delete that project. Project ID should be pasted as input. Shutdown. Let me delete all existing projects to make sure my cloud account is empty and there are no running projects, current projects. And simply, I will delete those also, shut down anyway. All these actions we have to do on Google Cloud actually. Yes, make sure you refresh your browser. Now you don't have any projects. Create project is ready. Now this account is afresh. And I will type my name, healthcare bot project. I'll simply type the name, next project I'm doing, healthcare bot project, create. Now the project is ready. It is provisioned. Select that project so that in the name, in the web window, your current project should be healthcare project. See our current project which we are building healthcare project done in Google Cloud, console.cloud.google. Once you do this first step correctly, then you go to log into aistudio.google.com. This is your development environment. Now we have signed in to Google AI Studio. So first time user who are signing in will get this pop-up. It's a direct indication. Never signed with this account, pop-ups will appear welcoming me. Now I will go to my API key section. I'll go to project here. Let me close this insurance bot as it is completed already. Let me go to this. And here you first import your projects first. This step should succeed. So here project I have created just now is healthcare. So select that project and say import. When you refresh, students, notice your project name should display here. If the project name is not displaying, import is failing. And just go to project section, just refresh. Right. Now let's go ahead and create a project key. Healthcare bot key. I'm using this name. Make sure you connect the project correctly by clicking on project. Here also one provision is there. If you're observing every time I'm saying create project facilities also there within Google AI Studio also. But a good practice is if you create a project within Google AI Studio, sometimes project creation will take more time. That's why we are going to Google Cloud directly and creating there and then importing it here. or you can directly create. So I'm selecting the healthcare bot project, import project, and already imported. I'll select that. And now I'll click create key. The new API key is now created. All we need to do is copy this key and now move on to our next Python project code named as healthcare bot app.ipynb. Now I am on my second project. For your information, everybody, the same process. How did I build this code? Same thing. So in the Google AI Studio, first we have to write the system prompt. Yeah, almost completed, getting completed. Yes. So we'll just go to the Gemini, select our Flash model here, and the healthcare prompt we are just typing here. First, we have to copy the connection and just paste the prompt. First, to train your bot like this, everybody, and then run control. Yes. Now we are giving system prompt to behave like a healthcare external bot. The bot understood what it has to do, what it doesn't have to do. Okay, done. Once the context is given, you can go to the get code. Download the code or copy. That code already I have copied here. And make sure the API key which we are using is available. API key is being copied. So I will run this demonstration and then finally close the training and be ready for question and answer. Make sure the API key is correctly given. Gemini 3 Flash preview model we are using. So change the model, Gemini 3 Flash preview. In AI Studio, whichever model you are using, participants, only that has to be given. So this is a system prompt. If you see, the system prompt is what we are passing. Then we are creating user-defined function, asking the query. User will ask the query, model will generate the result. And then, see here, when one question was asked to explain what fever indicates simple term, bot replied with some answer. Like that, we have to train our bot and finally convert the bot into Streamlit web app. So the process is same. Once you understand one bot, the process is same. Already we have installed Google Gen AI and Streamlit UI also, and we are setting some. Here also you can name the model name correctly. Whichever model currently you are using, that model name only we have to use. Review. Here I will replace this. Done. Gemini 3 Flash preview. Make sure API key, whichever API key is currently active, throughout the code, use the same API. Now this is the entire Streamlit code and we will save it. And then we will download this as a Python file. Yes. Now you go ahead and simply try to run this on your desktop. Go to the command line. Close any existing versions of Anaconda prompt or Streamlit server to avoid errors. Once again, I'm opening Anaconda command prompt. CD desktop. Now let us run our healthcare bot this time. Streamlit, run. Name of the bot, I have renamed my project as healthcare bot app.py. Remember, this project has a new API key created from new Google Cloud account. This is a final demonstration for all of us. Always remember, any error leads to resource. That's what. See, resources are being exhausted. But the output of this bot, I have already copy pasted. So how this bot looks like, finally I want to show. This is how the bot looks like, participants. I hope you all could see my PPT. First time users who are using Gmail account on Google AI Studio will not get these errors. Directly you will get the output like this. So healthcare bot, on the left hand side, you have to enter the API key. Just whatever API key is there, you have to enter. Copy from your Google AI Studio, enter the API key. Once you copy paste the API key and press enter key, and then you can write your question in the ask button and click explain button. Now you can ask several questions: symptom related questions, disease related questions. 2 types of questions we have identified to test the bot whether it works correctly. So basic information only should be given. It should not do any diagnosis. So 2 types of prompts we are given. And once you enter the prompt, you could see the question is entered, click explain, results are coming. So how did the bot generate result? Simply it is contacting which model? Gemini Flash Preview, or whichever model you are using in Google AI Studio. That model is contacted using API key and bot is working perfectly. This is how you can build insurance company bots, healthcare industry bot, loan advisor, financial loan advisor. Like that, any type of bot can be built. Only things you need to have is proper Gmail account, Google Cloud project, valid API key, connecting that API key in the Python code, and building Streamlit web app. These are the methods, steps to be followed to build. During hackathon, our team will share you the projects on that day, and you have to select one project and build apps like this and show to us. Of course, guidelines will be revealed by the team during the hackathon inaugural. Hope all of you are clear, participants, how the process, where we started, the theoretical concept, practical implementations. As a beginner, how could you try your opportunities into generative AI area? Because in industry, especially IT industry, there is lot of demand for people who could develop such type of generative AI bots. Very important. Yes. So if you have any questions, dear participants, please respond. In the chat. Myself and Dr. Ganpati Raj garu, we are online in the WhatsApp group, and we can answer if you have any questions. Hackathon solving WhatsApp group, we are both are there. If you have any questions, please post your question here. We can quickly answer and close the training. And we are also eagerly waiting to come to your campus to conduct the hackathon on Monday. So many projects from industry we have designed, and we are planning to give from VCube, so you people can practice it correctly. So tomorrow, Sunday, is there. Complete PPT and all the coded Python projects, notebooks you will receive, and please practice it thoroughly. We wish you all the best, and hopefully all of you are ready for this. We are expecting good attendance, and we hopefully want to see some good projects from you to support you in your future also. Ganpati Raj garu, if you are there, if you want to speak, you can take over, sir. Raj garu, are you available? Yeah. You can take over. Last word. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Meer maatadu.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. All the participants kindly practice the chatbots, whatever discussed by the Mohankar. And in the Monday session, we are going to give you 50 real-time problems. You need to select any one problem and you need to start with them. All the people, can you respond, Amma? Okay, and we are going to give you 50 problems. You can select any one problem on the hackathon day. You must implement one chatbot. Okay, based on that, we will evaluate and we will give you the results. I hope everyone, we will see on Monday morning 8 a.m. I hope everyone okay, Nama? Yeah, thank you very much for attending, all the people. And once again, thank you very much from VCube Software Solutions and SIT College of Engineering. Okay, thank you very much. Shall we?